Welcome back, everybody, to the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne Grand Final between CLG and Gambit. And Gambit is currently 1 game up in this best of 5. We had about 10 minutes break. You think that was enough for CLG? They had a lot to talk about.
Did they? Shots?
No, they actually, as
just
you said,
one gang.
the double kill.
No, actually,
I
think it was enough. But it's a best of 5. They're an experienced team. A lot of their players have played these best of 5 series already. I still remember their relegation series, a cutthroat best of 5 against a really great team there, but they barely made it there, and maybe they make it again today.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. They do make some comebacks every now and then. But yeah, I think Scar is probably going to have like a pretty stern talking to them. He's doing a lot coaching with them, apparently. Well, we can only hope. I mean, they ended up getting fined like $10,000 for poaching him, so he better do something.
All right, moving on. That said, Giovanni, it was absolutely destructive from Diamond. Is that something that's ban-worthy now, or is that something... We did see that yesterday, without it getting as many kills, it also worked out.
I mean, if you give a jungler 2 kills... I mean, he got, out of his first 4 ganks or something, he got all the kills. He got super fed. Any other jungler...
Very effective.
Could have had an impact as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if you're going to have a ban plan, it might not be Sejuani, but you can play around the ulti a little better. I think a lot of instances CLG just forgot that Sejuani has an AoE stun. I still remember many instances where Link would just jump over a wall. They get Sejuani ulti. Gnar was on 80% rage, and Gnar just transformed into Mega Gnar and stomped him into a wall. Yeah, if you're going to play like that, then you have to ban it. But you got to play around what these abilities these champions have. You gotta treat it like an Amumu.
Yeah, I would actually maybe look for a Gnar ban here. It looks like they didn't really know how to play around the Gnar ultimate. They got 3-man stun into walls over and over again. He just like tore their team up. And
for Gambit, it's Pantheon and Azir coming in as the first 2 bans, and Aurelia and Syndra from CLG.
It's really weird that Gambit's the one banning Azir here. I haven't seen CLG really be playing
Maybe
Azir.
They thought Capuchard wasn't good at it. They said, never mind.
So they just ban out their
ban it out. Why not?
You're not gonna play this champion, but he's banning himself, so that would be a little kind of logic there.
Yep, absolutely. Jarvan coming in as his 3rd ban though from Gambit.
Yeah, so now that Pantheon and Jarvan are banned, I think CLG is gonna have to ban Lee Sin in this scenario because, yeah, if they don't, then Gambit's just gonna first pick it. Everybody knows Diamond Prox is a really great Lee Sin player, so.
I haven't seen it come out here yet, but we love to see some Lee Sin from Diamond, and it is indeed the Gnar from CLG coming in there as the last ban.
I think that's a smart ban. I think banning out Aurelia and Gnar definitely limits Cabochard, who's been really a solid force on that team. Syndra just is a target ban at NIQ. Gambit no longer going with the triple jungle ban though. They could have went for that and then went for the early listing pick regardless, but it seems like they don't fancy Tinker that strong anymore.
I definitely agree with taking away the thresh from them. I mean, Edward might not be the best in the laning phase with it, but out of lane, he's just hitting hook after hook and making really nice plays with it.
We saw it yesterday as well when Aphromoo he plays a solid Janna, but it lacks the playmaking potential. Basically, Janna amplifies what your team is doing for you, and then you just help them. But if your team's struggling and you want to make those plays yourself and you want to make those picks, then Thresh is a better option. So I really like Aphromoo's Thresh. I think he's really good on it.
And then the LeBlanc that gets locked in for Link, as he did well on that as well. And Jackson Corki pondered over for Gambit, and the Corki locked in.
Wow, they're actually going to just insta-lock the Jax. So I guess they just want to do it a takeaway from Zion. They want to see what else he can play. I mean, there's still a lot of top lane. There's Rumble up, there's Maokai up, and Zion showed that he was like decent on Maokai, so I think that's actually a decent matchup as long as you have something that can match the Jax in the late game.
We see, yeah. Go ahead.
I like that they take away the Jax, especially since they're 1-0 up in this series. They basically can find out what Zion Spartan's answers to his own champion. If it's 0-0, maybe not the best idea, but otherwise, maybe they don't even have an answer themselves. You know, they might be guessing, okay, Nar's out, Aurelia's out. I don't have anything left to play into Jax. Let's just play that.
So if they actually do lock this Nunu in, back last season when Jax was a pretty popular champion, a lot of people considered Nunu to be a really good pick and him because if he jumps into your team, you just snowball him and slow his attack speed, and you can't make it out of the team fight, and he just gets run down.
And you've been talking about Nunu all day, Saint. You really want to see that champion and see what teams can do with it if it's properly played.
But I love Nunu.
I'm not a Nunu fan at all in this patch.
And it'll be
really weak.
Elise and Vayne, actually. Again, the double lift Vayne coming in there. Didn't work out yesterday, but he wants to redeem himself.
Yeah, they're definitely going to 2v1 in this situation, but they might get called on the lane swap again, like we saw in the first game versus Roccat. And I think that'd be a really big problem for them because Vayne cannot match the Corki in lane.
Yeah, it's going to get pretty rough. Wait, am I missing a support here? Is it going to be new support?
No.
There's a Kassadin lock-in though for Nick.
Okay.
And there we go.
I like the Cassidy into LeBlanc matchup. Let's see if NIQ can play it as well as Link was doing up until that point where he got ganked.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a really good matchup for Cassidy, and it's a really smart pick too. Like they saw even in the last game, like, wait, this is actually pretty effective, and I'm sure he plays it in solo queue, so and I'm sure they scrim with it. Good pickup here.
And it probably will be the Janna that will get locked in here for Edward, and then we're going to see what Zion Spartan is going to reply with on the side of CLG in that top lane.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what they're going to pick here, because they need an AD top laner to match into the Jax at this point.
Or otherwise, Vayne is going to be their answer for Jack's late game split push. And we saw when CLG played Vayne last time, when Doublelift split pushing and answering or just being answered, the rest of the team just didn't quite like get their grasp on the game. Then again, they were behind in the laning phase early, so you can't judge it on just one game. But a pretty wonky comp from CLG. It doesn't excel at team fighting really. It has some split push components, but then again, LeBlanc wants to make some picks, so.
I think we might see a Renekton. A lot of people used to like playing Renekton into Jax, but I think one of the problems with that is if you do that level 2 cheese and you do end up in a 1v1 lane,
it fixes a lot of the problems.
Yeah, it fixes a lot of the problems.
Yeah.
You'll see they're definitely thinking about it long and hard here because it's going to be instrumental. It is a best of 5, but if you lose 2 in a row, you're in for a good time in that. For the rest, Lee Sin for Diamond, as you guys called, will maybe be able to make those early plays again on the side of Gambit, and CLG definitely doesn't want that.
If LeBlanc can at least can't pick somebody off immediately when a fight starts, it's gonna be really tough for Doublelift because Cassian can gap close on him. If they drop a pink ward, Jax can jump on him. Like they'll have to need a condemn for the Jax, but at the same time, Lee Sin and Cassian will be going for him. I like the Maokai if it comes to fighting because now CLG's comp got a lot better at team fighting. They can have the Maokai just stand in front, soak up damage, and it basically locks people in position. And then LeBlanc can play around that, Vayne can play around that. But if there's no tank in front, the team comp would become impossible to play. So I really like the fact that it rounds out the composition. The only issue I have is
it's putting a lot on Doublelift.
Doublelift has to answer that Jackson late game, or CLG as a team need to keep him down.
Yeah, we'll see if Doublelift rises to the occasion. We have to go away for 90 seconds, but when we come back, we'll see game 2 between CLG and Gambit. Stay put.
Bij bol.com vind je prachtige kerstbomen, kookboeken met allerlei verrassende kerstrecepten, vlijmscherpe messen en de allermooiste kerstcadeaus. Bol.com, de kerstwinkel van ons allemaal. Bij bol.com vind je prachtige kerstbomen, kookboeken met allerlei verrassende kerstrecepten, vlijmscherpe messen en de allermooiste kerstcadeaus. Bol.com, de kerstwinkel van ons allemaal.
Extreme Masters Cologne, we're moving into game number 2 between Gambit and CLG. The scoreline, of course, stands 1-0 in this best of 5 final in favor of Gambit. Just 2 games away from booking their spot at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship in Katowice next year. Now, the question is, the picks have obviously changed pretty drastically at Official. What do we think to him?
Well, I mean, for me, a big question mark is going to be Zion Spartan on the Maokai, because normally he's the split-pushing person. We don't often see him play the teamfight-focused champions. If he can perform on it, his Rumble, while he had some decent ultis, he didn't really have any impact on the game yesterday when he played it. It was the game that lost to Rocket, of course. And funny enough, the same game, Doublelift was playing Vayne.
It's going to definitely be a tricky game, a tricky setup. It's good old protect the Doublelift, as always, from CLG, it seems, this time around, although Link may have something to say about that. Had a very impressive game on LeBlanc yesterday. Went 9-3-1 or something like that. He was stuck in Elo hell in his team at that game. But this time around, they're going to have a real tough time, I feel, personally, judging by the 2 comps. Gambit actually got a really good team.
Yeah, Gambit has a very nice setup here, very strong lanes as well, and it should mean CLG wants to lane swap it, so if we see them going in deep ward here early on to try and spot it, it wouldn't actually surprise me. Gambit, on the other hand, moving down to bottom lane themselves, maybe hoping for CLG to come in there and place the deep wards.
Well, CLG headed top side, Gambit on the bottom side. Looks like we could just see them trudge across the map at this rate and put wards down on their own side. Also want to touch on ThinkCard, because we noticed in that last game went haunting guys after his first jungle item. Didn't really like that, considering the fact as well that they had no tank in there. Do you think there's going to be a change of itemization on his side?
I mean, I would hope he goes for early magic penetration boots if he wants to try and duel Diamond blocks in the early game. But the thing is here, you have the Kassadin LeBlanc matchup in the mid lane, which obviously we saw beforehand. Kassadin does super well, he can sit and farm, and if Diamond can apply a lot of pressure there, get Nick ahead in this lane, then suddenly we can have the same situation as the last game, and that would require ThinkCard here to step up his game, because he has not been performing at all for CLG so far.
Well, it's a mirror from both these teams with the deep wards. Gambit down the bottom and CLG along the top. That means a lane swap almost certainly will come out. They spotted the wards going down. No invades coming out, it doesn't seem. Will it? May well be. It looks like ThinkCard's actually going to stick around and go for Gromp in Gambit's jungle.
Well, the thing is, when you have the lane swap here, you always want to go in and take one of their buffs, so you avoid the enemy team getting 3 buffs at level 1. And that's basically what they're doing here. You take the Gromp, you know Gambit is on the bottom side of the map because you saw the ward being placed all the way up on the top side of the map between the 2 towers in the bottom lane of CLG. So you know they're on the bottom side, you basically just swap the map around now, and it's a very, very standard start. The only difference is still these 2 top laners doing a camp on their own at level 1, so they're instantly level 2, and therefore won't be denied as much experience as we've normally seen.
Well, yeah, if you look at the minimap, seeing Diamond Procs traverse the map and head over onto the enemy blue buff. Well enough, Zion is coming down to mine. Actually, just check that just to see what the progress of Diamond Procs is at this stage. You can see he is actually moving in towards that blue buff camp, so you may be able to spot him, or at least we'll see that blue buff has already gone at this point. Down to 400 HP, and Zion Spawn might be able to actually cause him a couple of little problems here. They will take the blue buff. Wasn't exactly easy for him, but Diamond got that one on lockdown for now. Will actually leave a little bit of experience behind, though.
Yeah, but the super smart play by Diamond. He is waiting for his Q to be back up. He does more damage the lower the target is, and just securing the buff here, which is very important for him. You don't want the Maokai to get a blue buff as well at level 1.
Camera shot getting some good damage back on Aframu, but Nick in that mid lane has been having a torrid time already. ThinkCard looking to come around for a gank. The ward will spot him instantly, so Eddie, good timing there. But Nick was close to actually being within smite range, ignite range. But actually, looking at Link, so is he, and he's kind of out of mana. He's been trying to burn Nick down as hard as possible, but I think he's kind of burned himself out in the process.
Yeah.
And you can see there is the passive popped, and he's going to be in trouble now.
All these early game trades are so much in favor of Nick because he's running Flask and he's running... That's it. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot to say about that. That is just an outplayed moment there. Now double lift in this top lane. Going to be hammered away on. The exhaust was used. Double lift actually using summon a heal and flash there to get back behind his turret. And this is not the start that CLG wanted in this game.
You have just played the same matchup in the last game. You know the damage of the Kassadin. You know as well he's starting Flask, 3 potions. So these early trades will go in favor of him. And yet you just keep fighting, stay around. And in the end, Nick barely had to do anything. He didn't even use flash. He just Q and kill him.
Not to mention he's getting his mana back from his W as well that entire time. And Link stood there, no mana, just literally getting taken down. And, well, certainly not the best of starts here. Gambit actually sticking around on that top lane there. Aframu and Double Lift, though, will come straight back in to get back into farming.
Yeah, we have to talk about this Gambit lane swap because they have their own way of playing it. They instantly send the support and top laner to the lane swap side here to face the enemy dual lane. And this simply means they make sure there's no time to build up a big wave or freeze it. They instantly just start pushing it out and just actually have a standard 2v2 lane or just with the top laner. And now Nick is in trouble.
No, I'm not sure
he has flash.
He had also just used the Force Pulse, so he'd got that shield already on him. Not the Force Pulse, the Null Sphere. So he'd already got that shield on him, which had built it up. And obviously with Double F being sent packing a moment ago, that's delayed him as well in that top lane. Meanwhile, it's all happening. Pernoi on his own, free farming, of course, against the Zion Spartan on Malphite. Not going to have too many problems there, really. He could just sit and quite happily play it. Now you can see he's just trying to freeze the lane out as deep as he possibly can. So Zion Spartan can't get close.
No, but this is the problem about the Gambit lane swap tactic, is the enemy top laner gets a lot of farm and experience down in this bottom lane. Instead, though, they want to try and focus this top lane, get some kills and cover shot. Diamond is coming in. They didn't see him.
Oh, look at the timing on this one. Diamond will come around. There's the knock-up. Surely going to go for double lift here. Teleport will come up. There's the hook onto Diamond procs, but he will just simply safeguard away from that. And in the end there, they've burnt that teleport.
Burn the teleport here. No cancel from Zion Spartan because I believe actually it was the Sonic Wave from Diamond here on one of the minions. He just connected to and jumped back, and in the end now, in this bottom lane,
yeah,
he's left all alone.
Well, they just saw, of course, ThinkCard was there. Nick quickly pinged it, said, okay, jungler is here, you're safe. Pinoy just shoved that lane. He just tried to bounce it off the turret as hard as he can. Double lift immediately rushing down there. Really wants to try and get some of that CS before it goes all to waste in that bottom lane. He will get, what, 1-2 CS, I think, maybe max down there.
And that was big for Gambit, forcing that teleport, and also double lift lost pretty much the entire wave here. So he is behind in farm compared to Pinoy. He also got a free time to go back because he knew I pushed a wave in, get my Sheen, take these very short trades with the Vayne, which is super smart because once Vayne hits level 6, you cannot have these long trades. He will win it. The Vayne will win these trades with his ulti. So now Pinoy instead just looking small trades. He can also poke with his rocket and get the Sheen proc.
Well, he's back in there with a 10 CS lead. Double lift though, keeping this wave on his side of the map for now. Vamp Scepter for him. Pinoy actually investing in a pink ward of his own there just to put down in that tri-bush, and the one from his trinket as well. So feeling safe now.
You'll never see Double Lift do that, I don't think. That's for sure from what I've heard from every support he's played with. Yeah, so pink ward, so buying himself his own coverage in that top lane, while Eddie, of course, wasn't with him. He is making his way down, so we are going to see that straight lane matchup this time around, but both AD carries closing in on that level 6. Double lift going to hit there in a moment. But Pinoy, I think we'll be happy with the way this has worked out.
Yeah, there's a big difference between these two AD carries at the moment. You have the Sheen already for Pinoy. It's a big early power spike for him. And of course, he's a level ahead of double lift because of what happened in these lane swaps. So definitely in favor of Gambit at the moment. And notice how Edward, he didn't actually show himself yet. He's staying here and making a CLG wonder where he is.
Well, blue buff's going to be given over to their mid laners now. Nick will be getting his first of all. Obviously, bottom side of the map came up a little bit later there, but it was Zion Spartan who finished off the camp, so he'll actually be able to just let the rest of his team know when that's actually coming into play. On the top lane, we saw second Doran's Blade, plus the health crystal there as well for Cabochard. Other side, the Rod of Ages obviously started here by Zion Spartan, getting himself the Catalyst Protector in these early stages. Bottom lane still remains 10 CS leaders. Afromu going to go really low from this one. Not quite enough damage to finish off, or will there be? Pinoy going in. Exhaust is used though, and he's being pulled into tower range. Meanwhile, Cabochard flashes over the wall. ThinkCard will join him. He's gonna go down here. They'll trade 1-for-1. Diamond though might fall foul of this one with Link coming around. Now Nick joins in the party as well. The chains will stun him up, and that means that no more action will come of it. Oh, will he? Nick's going aggressive here. We'll get the slow. We'll knock the Mimic out there as well, as I forget the name completely, and there is Ignite ticking away as well. Won't quite be enough to finish him off, but Nick coming in and showing a lot of damage. Meanwhile, that bottom lane continues to be ridiculously low.
Yeah, a lot of action down this bottom lane as well. Afromu is super low. He needs to be careful here. Doesn't get a big rocket in the face from Pinoy. We have seen him snipe people before.
Yeah, we'll see whether that big bomb's ready and waiting. The concussion. The concussion? We'll maybe get concussion.
We're just making stuff up today. Mirror Image, not Mimic, is the name of LeBlanc's passive as well.
That's all right, Joe. We don't cast this game anymore. We can do what we want. It's great. It's just going at it. Throwing all sorts out there. But yeah, that was a very close trade. Obviously, while we switched to the top and saw the kills happening, you could see the hit point blip markers, Double Lift and Afroboot, down to nothing on their tower. And the CS differential sticking Pinoy's favor. With him maybe having to back early on once again. You can see he's life stealing away with that Vamp Scepter as much as possible and hoping that Afro move comes back as quick as possible. Luckily for them in the bot lane, that action in the top actually forced no one to come down and help, because we could have easily seen Nick coming down and picking up some kills.
Yeah, he had to go top instead and almost finish off Link. Instead, though, he forced him to go back again, and you can see the difference just in CS at the moment. Link died once, forced back, as well. And once again, 280 carries trading here, not really a trade Doublelift wants to take.
Pump Scepter, though, at least there will be able to bring him some health back. Also want to mention, we talked about ThinkCard's build and whether that Haunting Guise was the right way for him. Looks like he's actually going for that again here as his second item, which, I don't know, we'll see how that works out for him this time around, having that Maokai in there for a bit more tankiness. And look at Link going super low. Nick got plenty of mana. He's going to dive right on top of him, gets the kill. ThinkCard comes around, but guess what? He's not going to be able to kill him off here. Well, actually, he will be able to. Nick going on towards the top side. He left his flash super late there.
I think he wasn't expecting, obviously, you talked about the Amtone being picked up. I don't think he was quite expecting the damage from ThinkCard there.
Well, first of all, he was waiting for Diamond to actually come down and join him, and in the end, he just wanted to try and bait it, and...
Surprise! Boom!
That's it. So, a little bit greedy, I guess, from Nick in this mid lane. Definitely a misplay from him, but he was waiting for Diamond, also why he tried to flash, like, towards the top side of the jungle here. Shouldn't have died, though. Could have just flashed away and played it safe. But Haunting Guise this time around is coming a lot earlier for ThinkCard, which is a very important thing. Last time he got it super late, where he didn't really do too much. He can go for his magic penetration boots as well now and have a lot of single target burst against this Lee here. I'm still not a big fan of the Haunting Guise. I don't think it's needed. Just get your magic pen boots and then go full tank from there on.
One thing that does surprise me is the fact that Nick has simply 1-2 one-on-ones running. This is something you don't often see at the pro level. You don't often see the one-on-ones simply being traded. Always has to require a jungler because they generally know the limit that they can push to, but I think he just got caught out, like, twice, as you mentioned, the fact that they just played it in the last game, but they're going in. Kabashard's actually in trouble. Is he going to get dived on towards the turret? Is it enough? Diving at Jax is a dangerous thing, and they will get away with it. Now they're going to counter down the bottom.
Yeah, that was nice, though, and actually Afro we're going to bring them in, but he gets knocked up, and I think he might die here. Good little exhaust. One more rocket should do it, or a flying diamond procs. He gets knocked against the wall, though. You don't want to risk that against a player like Doublelift, who will come in there. 2 tower hits for Janna. Good damage onto Pinoy as well, but no more kills for Doublelift down there. That'll be a 2-for-1 across the map.
Yeah, and this kill here for Doublelift should mean he has enough gold for his Blade of the Ruined King, which is so important for him on this Vayne pick. A little bit aggressive once again. Oh, Tailbot behind Gambit here, actually.
Yeah, Pinoy, is he going to get pinned out here? That's the question. Zion Spawn is closing in, but in the mid lane is also Link and Nick making their way down the river. Actually, to the ThinkCard. Nick, he's going to go straight in. That was a quick cleanup. Wasn't expecting him to go down that harsh. And Pinoy, well, he takes a death. It's ThinkCard, actually, that picked that one up.
So just before he actually came in the lane here, he used a sweeping lens on the bush, and I think there was a ward from CLG which basically got turned off, and then he just jumped in, Doublelift didn't see him, and instantly killed him. I think he's on his Dragon alone. There's a lot of members around for CLG here, and then no Pinoy is dead, so they should actually be able to take it unless Nick can come in and stop it. He has full mana. Right now he's just being zoned away.
Yeah, Diamond's going to have to pull out the smite of all smites, I think, to try and get in this one with Link nearby. You can see them do the ward, lands the kick.
Just wait for
Sonic Wave, yeah, they've got to wait to hit the Sonic Wave to wear out. It reset the Dragon a fair amount. That's actually going to delay it, and the rest of Gambit had given time to actually get closer.
This could be really, really bad. There's a Sonic Wave landing once again. 1500 HP they're going. They managed to get the Dragon as well, but can they get out? Diamond Proc taking a lot of damage, but look at the damage from Nick there across the entire team. Diamond was able to flash away from it as well. They get the Dragon and get out alive. Brilliant from Diamond and Nick.
So as soon as CLG decided to disengage from the Dragon here, Gambit saw the opportunity to just jump in, burst it with Kassadin and Lee, and just...
Yeah, well, he was going in aggressively, but, you know, when there is a LeBlanc still there and everybody else, and Eddie's just like, what are you doing, buddy? Yeah, I mean, I know it's like a complete contrast to Genja, but he's just like, you got a little too deep on that one.
Yeah, this is what happens when you are a very aggressive player and everything works for you in game one and you feel like you can just do whatever you want. This one, punished. They got the Dragon, however, for Gambit. That was just nice setup again. Nick going in and bursting it together with Diamond because everyone from CMG had backed away. And let's see if Doublelift can stay alive.
I'm not sure he can. Nick's going in. He's got one combo on him. Kabashard could dive this tower. He's going to leap on towards him now. Has to use that ultimate to back away. And we'll stealth back to the tower.
Still even in gold here, and CLG is actually... Sorry, CLG ahead in gold, but even in kills for now. And Doublelift has managed to survive on this Vayne pick in the early game. 104 CS. Blade of the Ruined King already completed. A lot of the kills though for CLG went on to ThinkCard.
Well, that's his chance To sign, to shine. Maybe his chance to sign as well if they can win into Extreme Masters. We doubt that though at this point. We'll see as Link comes back now into that mid lane with the Morella Nomicon. Not quite the Rod of Ages for Nick just yet, but he's got 1,400 gold, which means that next time he does go home, we'll be able to pick that one up and come back into the lane all that more stronger. Let's have a look at some CS totals here. Doublelift still 10 CS behind, basically. We've also got Diamond coming in towards his top lane. Now Maokai, Rod of Ages in there, got a bit of armor as well. And I think he's at that point where it's just a little too dangerous to go in. Meanwhile, CLG have said we want some vision control now, and they've warded the entirety of the bottom side of Gambit's jungle.
Yeah, this is something Aframo has already been super good at. Going inside the enemy jungle on this Thresh pick here, or the Alistar when he plays it, get down all the deep wards. It basically gives you so much information and allows you now to pre-plan some place because you can see where the enemy is, you can see where they're moving after the clear camp, and therefore set up your place.
Well, Eddie, quick, fast fingers, dodged out of that one. The chains didn't look like they were going to land anyway, I don't think. It's giving Nick a little bit of freedom in this mid lane to try and push as hard as he can. That tower taken fairly low, but all of those wards down will give them good vision in the bottom half of the jungle. Maybe try and set something up. Nick's being a little reckless there, and actually will just have to riff walk away. Taking a heck of a beating for the process. Diamond going in. Aframu flashes out of the Sonic Wave there. And CLG on the back foot this time.
Good to see Diamond with the Chilling Smite here. We have seen Lulex from H2K, who qualified to the LCS yesterday, actually go for ranges on Lee. It's a bit more safe. But here the thing is, if you do manage to get your first gang off, as this Lee Sin with the Chilling Smite, it is super good. Let's see what happens in top. Just trading. No real all-in yet.
Zion Spartan having a bit of a tit for tat with him. Of course, as you mentioned, Rod of Ages was completed by Zion already. Cabochard yet to get that Triforce, so you'd kind of give it, I would say give it to Zion Spartan for now. We'll see, of course, he will regenerate health as Cabochard tries to beat him down, but the blue buff is going to be gifted. Looks like it will be linked to pick that one up, and that's going to leave that mid turret open for a little bit longer.
And now they're just farming in this top lane, and we have actually seen CLG earlier in the game try and shut down Cabochard. I mean, he's died twice already. Thinkard has been up there. Link as well was up there once to kill him. Because they know if they can keep this Jax down and get Doublelift ahead, then suddenly he can win the one-on-one.
Afro taking a lot of damage there. Trying to set things up for Doublelift. Still no Trinity Force for Pinoy, but that shouldn't be too far away either, to be honest. Sat on about 1,100 gold at this point, so that was all but there at this stage. Here comes Diamond. Can he land the Q? Wow. Oh, he goes down the middle. Doublelift coming in there as well. Will pin Eddie against the wall. There is the TP from Zion Spartan. Thinkard was in there, and that will be 4 men all of a sudden down this bottom lane. Maybe lucky that Diamond didn't land that Q in the end, because it could have been the death for him. Cabochard will take the top tower, but they're going to lose the bottom one.
Yeah, instantly as Gambit saw the teleport coming in from Zion Spartan, they just disengaged. They never used the teleport from Cabochard. He would just want to trade for the tower up here in the top lane and actually keep pushing in. Meanwhile, Nick taking quite a lot of damage.
Might be able to get him with the mage change. I think that shield just about enough to keep him alive. Tries to send him back around. No, Diamond in there. Misses the kick. Doesn't matter. The ignite from Nick will get the kill, so it was a straight trade 1-for-1.
Trading 1-for-1 though. Cabochard coming down from this top lane. Let's see if Thinkard can get baited into a bad fight here.
Well, let's have a look. Diamond gonna kick him in, and look at that. Cabochard is in there. That is a combo of dreams for Gambit. Good flash, but 2 of them follow through. Maybe the double flash wasn't a thing of dreams, but kill's a kill at the end of the day.
Yeah, I guess it worked pretty well.
Worked very well. So, all square, 8 apiece. Look at that, the bait there with the recall after a move. Not gonna fall for it. So, 24 seconds on that dragon. Remember, it was stolen away by Gambit last time. We'll see whether they try and set up for it the second time. Of course, both teams will have the timers. They were both present for it. No bottom turret to fall back to for Gambit, though, and CLG have the river advantage.
Yeah, and Zion Spartan just pushed out this top lane, now running down. He doesn't have teleport ready. Cabochard is in the base, picking up his Trinity Force. At the moment, though, here, problem for Gambit is they don't really have a tank just yet, but they do have this Corki with this massive mid-game power spike. Jax is still fairly squishy with just the Trinity Force, and he can be blown up by someone like Link.
Good cheeky check from Diamond there, recalling in the bush to see whether Aframo throws that death sentence at him. Knows that there is no ward in there without using the scrying orb. Nick getting caught. The chains will go down on Link. That may be a problem. We can see, of course, they're going to dive on towards him. I don't think he's going to win this duel. Teleport comes in. Phosphorus bomb from around the side. Corky going for it. Nick manages to live. Eddie with the shield on him. Wow. Crazy stuff there. And they actually got the kill on Link. Now the rest of Gambit are going to keep on chasing. They're in a death push, though. This is dangerous.
Well, we'll see how dangerous it is. There is Cabochard coming around that backside. They want to get rid of some vision. It's Eddie that's hooked in. Cocoon will follow as well. Who are they going to go for? Look at the damage onto Afromu. He will go down. Think Cod will surely drop as well. It's Pinoy that gets that, but Double Lift going mad at the back will get 2. Can he get 3? Valkyrie away, he won't. So double for Diamond and an ace for Gambit.
And Eddie right here, he basically sacrifices himself for the team. He runs into Face Shake and says, under support, if you want to use everything on me, that is fine. The rest of my team can clean up. Pinoy on this Corky here, the maximum power spike for him this early in the game. Trinity Force, you have your magic penetration as well. Left untouched. Look at it again. Edward here, sacrifice himself. He's going to be the first target CLG takes down.
Got the Howling Gale on 4 of them.
Perfect. Cabochard, meanwhile, tanking up a lot of the damage. And look at Pinoy here, completely untouched. Same can be said for Double F. And in the end, though, it's just a 2 versus 1 in favor of Gambit.
Nick wasn't there that whole time.
They both died. Link and Nick
both,
died before it.
Yeah. That's true, they did. My mind is that of a goldfish.
There, Joe.
I am a bit of a goldfish when it comes to remembering, you know, my own name and stuff like that. That's why I went for the simple one at the end of it. Couldn't remember my nickname after 2 weeks. So
it's all right. The internet will never forget.
no, I know they won't. I might have noticed that one at this stage of things already. Well, let's have a look at some items then. Both mid lane is actually coming back in here with very similar, actually. Needlessly Large Rod, Ant Tome, a piece. AD carries. Obviously, that Trinity Force Sorcerer's Shoes has been added to by a BF sword now for Pinoy. Other way around is the Zeal Avarice Blade. So we'll see that Shiv coming out next for Double Lift. And less dueling going on between them this time around, which I don't know. Maybe that's better for Pinoy this time around against that Vayne. Obviously, game 1 was a lot of duels between them, which Pinoy certainly came out on top of. For now, it's Gambit that hold a 1,000 gold lead in this match. Let's see what they can do, because CLG are actually up in their jungle on that bottom side.
That was a lot of damage.
Yeah, Link getting a little bit out of sorts. He has got the support of his team, though. They were all close by in the jungle. Gambit may actually respond to this one. The tower in the mid lane is actually very weak, so that will probably be an ideal objective. Just go in, clean that up, and that's exactly what Cabochard's going to do.
Yeah, as soon as they force CLG to walk down towards the bottom lane, they know they can quickly go back to this mid lane, take it down. Might even push further in. Everyone just recall from CLG here. You have a Jax as well.
Yeah, they're going to get some good free damage on it. Don't forget with the Janna shield on there as well. In comes Pinoy, all 5 members grouping on towards his tower. Let's see what they can get down on it. I feel CLG will be able to respond, but no! That was just mullet.
And right now, Gambit is just using their power spike on this Corky super well. You have Trinity Force as well completed on the Jax. And your Kassadin in this mid lane who got the first blood. 1-on-1 against Link. Hourglass completed. Every single member at the moment has so much damage. And if they get onto someone like Double Lift, they will kill him instantly.
Of course. For you guys watching at home, this is another very bloody game. 13-10, 23 minutes gone. And of course, there is a vote for MVP for the Intel Extreme Masters. Don't forget to get over to intelextrememasters.com and lay your votes down for that one. The number of players playing in this finals are in that vote. Some fantastic games yesterday, and of course, this final today looks like it's going to be a hectic affair. I think we've had some pretty epic starts to both of these matches so far.
Look at this play here, though. We've seen this before from Double Lift, and also something SK Telecom used to do a lot, where you send a Vayne in to suddenly gank the enemy top lane, who's not expecting him to be there.
Well, is he going to have enough damage? He should do. Force Pulse will come out. Has he got the shield? Oh, nicely done. Double Lift. That was well played by him. Silent Spartan didn't even get involved in that, I don't think. I think a sapling maybe touched down in him. That's about all.
But it's just what you can do in this Vayne. I mean, once you have the blade, static shift as well, you have so much single target damage. Sneak in there. Nobody expects the AD carry to stand in a bush and wait 25 minutes in.
Well, Nick might expect it next time that he goes up towards that top lane. We'll think twice about pushing past the halfway point. Let's see, though. Gambit now finally getting some wards down in the enemy jungle. We said this in game number 1, where they had a more substantial lead, I think is very fair to say at 25 minutes in. They didn't quite ever really push a big lead when it came to vision. But this time around, they seem to have wanted to remedy that one, especially on that side of the map where a third possible dragon could be coming up for them. Actually, a fourth? Have they got three already?
No, I got two.
They got two now. Yeah, so a third possible dragon. Of course, we're only 25 minutes into this one after all. And that would be a big bonus for them. They're up in turrets now after that middle inner turret was taken away. Yeah, Diamond, you probably don't want to be hanging around in that area.
At the moment, both teams really fighting for the vision control in this bottom side of the jungle.
Yeah, the battle of the pinks.
Constantly just going in, killing the pink wards. Every time they have the chance, place their own and then step away. It's just setting up for Dragon here. Last game, Gambit 25 seconds before Dragon spawned, they would suddenly recall, having 0 wards around the Dragon, and in the end CLG could pick it up. This time around, they're setting it up 1 minute in advance, constantly fighting for it, and it's a very, very nice setup for them.
I imagine that's exactly what their analyst said to them, their coach who was here. We saw him on stage after game number 1. That's the kind of the freebies as a coach that get gifted to you that you can just look at and say, okay, that needs to change next game if we get to this scenario. And that seems to have indeed changed for Gambit. Only 30 seconds now until that Dragon comes back into play. We're going to see Eddie actually recalling. Pinoy will recall as well. So they're going to be coming into this one with about 5 seconds to spare at this rate.
Yeah, I take back what I just said, because 30
put
seconds
the wards down, but then
before,
recall
and
anyway.
Now everyone just left it, so they're pushing up in this bottom lane. Diamond is sitting ready, and he is also sitting and waiting.
I don't think he's going to be ready for 5 members of CLG if they all come down, though.
Again, it's way too easy for CLG to just walk in this river here. There's nobody from Gambit to punish them.
Zion, maybe?
And once again, CLG can set up for a pick.
They've got no vision
that's
of them.
going off, didn't see them. Kabashard not going to get caught out, and actually this could go messy for both teams, but Zion Spartan not with them at the moment. You can see Diamond tries to flank around, does manage to land the Sonic Wave onto Link, but Thinkard's taken so low, dropped down, quick calls, Kabashard flashing in, he's after Aframu, Link comes around, Aframu low, double lift taken down, Kabashard gets on Aframu, and just like that, CLG caught napping, and Gambit so fast to react.
And Diamond here, he wanted to kick Flash Doublelift into his own team. In the end, though, he actually just ended up flashing away from him and kicking Doublelift away. Still, Gambit going straight for Baron.
I'm not sure about this one.
Link is still pretty fed here. He can come down. There's a good ward, though, to spot him. Oh, Science Spartan out of position.
Yeah, force a flash. There's a lot of slow, to be fair, on this Gambit team. Maybe not to, you know, lock you up in terms of stuns, but a lot of slow, and he's not going to be able to walk away. And that means Pinoy now on a rampage at 4-2-4. Dragon number 3 now should be going to Gambit. However, the rest of CLG are coming now back down towards that Dragon area after respawning and healing up for some of them, but let's see if Gambit can actually take that away.
It is gone.
Oh, yes, it is.
It's a very quick one for Gambit. They've got a heck of a lot of damage now. And CLG coming into this one a little slow. Be careful they didn't actually get caught in the wake of Gambit turning back around. So, Gambit now with 3 dragons.
Yeah, but it's actually fantastic to watch. You don't invest into any pink wards. You recall 30 seconds before the dragon spawns, and the enemy team actually sets up ready to pick you off. And as soon as it happens, they miss it. Gambit just turn around and say, fine, we'll take it, we'll fight.
We'll have a fight, yeah.
And just destroy CLG. Again, this Corki pick is so strong at the moment. Castellin has had a great game just from the start, and even the Jax pick just been part of team fighting at the moment. And they're just stronger. CLG can take the 5v5. They need more items on the vein.
It's something we talked about in the pick and ban once we came back to us and we finished. It was just like, so they've got a lot of dive buddies, you know, protect the double lift, but there's only so much you can protect him from. And obviously while they were trying to protect him, the rest of this team were just getting destroyed.
Simple as it is. I mean, Thresh is not enough to save double lift here. He's going to be on his own. He's going to have to just try and kite around. And while someone like Diamond Box might be chasing him, well, Pinoy just sits in the backline and kills the rest of CLG, so it's working out for now for Gambit, but it's not over yet.
I think the CLG team not exactly the strongest on the back foot either, especially when you've got Gambit with that amount of slows and the mobility that they've got in there. They're just going to chase you down in the end of it. We saw it in that last fight. There's a blue buff for Link, who has got his DFG in there. Zonya's on the other side for Nick. I like that little bit more safety for him. And if we look at Baron, it's currently all about Gambit, is that side of the map. There's a pink ward by the Raptors, but you see their top side of the red buff. is going to be warded out as well. Nice little sapling from Zion will spot the two of them coming around, or will it? There is Diamond Prox looping around. They're going to dive in, but will they throw too much? Oh, Eddie, you beast! That was absolutely incredible. He's halfway into taking the Lantern. Monsoon back says, no, you don't. They've lost their tank now, and the Baron is started by Gambit. This is going to be an all or nothing for CLG. They might even just go for nothing in the end and hope that Link can get in for a cheeky steal.
Let's see what happens. Yafimo with Duke. Oh, he's dead as well.
Oh, he's dead as well. Yeah, very much taken down quick. Cabochard maybe picked off here. Link's putting the damage down. Doublelift does come around. Doublelift getting some good damage.
Stop the Baron.
They could get on towards it. Doublelift could clean up here. He's onto Diamond. Gets himself the double. Onto Pinoy. Has he got enough to take Pinoy down? No, not quite. Nick shuts him down around the side there. Link will back away. Pinoy's still alive. Eddie gonna get chased down. He's gonna get locked up. Pinoy not going to follow.
Oh, don't do it, Link.
Link's going for it.
Oh, he got him. He got him.
Woo. This is a close matchup, but Gambit have been aced by CLG.
It looks so good in the start.
I said all or nothing, and it was all this time around.
So Cabochard here jumping over the wall to take down Aframo, open up for both Doublelift and Link to get him solo, even actually kill him. This Baron, man, he's not gonna die today.
The most mobile champion to dodge the green goo, and he gets caught. Oh well, no Baron for them either. So 19-16. A lot of kills in this game. That's what we like to see. See a hero, kill hero. That's what they're trying for, but it's CLG that managed to mop up in the last fight. And Doublelift and Link got themselves a lot of kills there.
Yeah, and most importantly, they stopped the Baron here after the bait from Gambit, which caught Zion Spartan out again. He's not really had much impact on this Maokai yet. He's actually just been caught out a few times and ended up dying. So it is all about Link and Doublelift at the moment.
And that's the thing about Doublelift, you know, we were reading after that game the amount of, I think, bashing that Doublelift gets after not having a great game. He gets an equal amount of praise when he has a good game as well. Let's not mistake any. Let's not make any mistake about that one. And we've seen time and time again in the past exactly how fantastic he can be on this vein. The question is whether Gambit can get in there, shut him down instantly, and then mop up the rest of the team. Whether Link can then follow through. We'll be finding out here as this one progresses. We're 32 minutes in. The gold is a 4,000 lead for Gambit. 19-16 in kills, 4-3 in turrets. Pretty close stuff. The one big difference, of course, is those dragon stacks. 3-0 at this point.
Yeah, right now Gambit could potentially start setting up for this dragon, but knowing them, they might recall in about a minute and then return for the dragon.
They're doing it now, at least, this time.
Yeah,
which might actually cost them the Baron if they're not careful.
Crossing straight for this Baron here.
With the pink ward
There's a ward there behind the Baron pit from Gambit, so they know if they start it, they can rush there. This bottom lane didn't actually get pushed out by CLG, so there's going to be a big wave building up, and they're starting the Baron here. Gambit can react.
Okay, so they've shoved the wave. They've got a bottom wave going in. The mid wave, Cabochard just spotted them, I think. Yep, Cabochard spots them. Don't think the Afro move's going to go too deep on this one. He's throwing the lantern out. He wants to land it. He gets it, but he pulls in a counter-strike. Isn't enough. Gets away. That's the exhaust used out there. They could turn this fight back on towards CLG instead. They're just going to poke them from range. The CLG trying for that Death Bush mechanic. It may have worked in Season 2, but it was Gambit that started it.
Well, what CLG was trying to do as well was bait Gambit away from this dragon here, because 3 dragons at the moment for Gambit and 0 for CLG, so they constantly try and pull them towards this Baron here, away from the minions, away from the dragon. But that's just a free tower now for Cabochard.
Doing nicely here. They've managed to keep him away from the Baron. They have sent Zion Spartan back, or they were sending him back.
If they go back, Gambit can just take the Baron here, so they have to stay around and send someone back to this. No teleport.
He's gone. He's gone back to it. And look at Link. Link is actually moving over as well. They're only hope, really. It's just, yeah, kill off Cabochard, stop him from teleporting home. There is Link missing both of the chains. Cabochard will jump away, but Gambit have actually come down. They're going to take the dragon instead.
Dragon number 4, though, as well. This is scary, scary time for CLG. They're already 1-0 down in this series. It is a best of 5. But to face a Gambit that is just one step away from now being a 5-dragon buffed up team when CLG have yet to secure themselves one is a dangerous prospect.
Oh, this is risky.
That's why they're going for the risky Baron.
No ping wards, no sweeping lanes here. So the ward from Gambit just sitting in there, once again spotting it. See what we can do to Nick.
They managed to pull him in there. There is Zonya's going to be used early. Diamond tried to get in as well and get his kick off, and there is the kick. We'll get a couple of knockups, but Gambit not feeling like they were totally prepared for that one after being hooked in to start the fight, and I think that might reset things here for a while. In fact, yeah, Jax is recalling.
They were in that much control there that Cabochard was just farming the top lane. He didn't even bother TPing in, no worries. The whole Gambit were feeling confident in that one, but they have backed away deep. They have got a ping ward in the river, but they've all come around the back.
This is so smart. Yes, CLG came around the back here. You had the lantern for the Vayne. Elise jumped in herself, and of course, the LeBlanc is so Gambit Gaming, even though they had a ward outside the Baron, didn't get to see it. Nice little setup here. So after a few attempts, CLG actually managed to pick up the Baron, but they still have to worry. Next Dragon, about 5 minutes. It's going to be the last one Gambit needs.
Well, we'll see what they can set up with it. It is a 3-minute buff. They can, of course, boost up their minions, try and push on down some of them towers. There is 3 inner turrets for Gambit for them to target on. Let's see which lanes they want to focus, because at the moment it's simply a case of defending their own base. And they need to be careful with the lack of vision that they have right now. They don't walk into any dangerous setup like Cabochard and the blue buff.
Yeah, Gambit can just wait here. Link, instead of going down for this blue buff, probably expecting it to be gone already, and doesn't want to face check at this point. We can see CLG now actually split up in a 1-3-1 if they want to, where you have the Vayne with the buffed up minions, and then of course the Maokai with teleport in a different lane, and just LeBlanc sitting in the middle where she can roam around, try and look for a pick. Right now though, Gambit is not letting CLG push out at all, just keeping them on their side of the map.
Probably the best thing that they can hope for in this scenario. Baron go in the way of CLG. Don't let him get into a position where you have to push out from your turret to kill off those minions with extended range. Cabochard is actually putting pressure on even in the bottom lane. Not just content with sitting back and stopping CLG pushing. He's actually taking the fight to them. There is Nick as well, waiting over the side of the wall. No vision of him, at least for now. CLG are held back just that little bit longer.
Yeah, and only having 2 damage dealers on the side of CLG is gonna make it super hard here in the late game, because you're gonna have so many people diving either link or double lift, and if you take out one of the damage dealers, suddenly CLG has no damage left to actually kill anyone from Gambit. You see Cabochard ran to its Omen here to slow down the attack speed as well, and you have the Hourglass even for safety. Mikhail's for the Jenna pick. It's gonna be very, very hard.
Well, I mean, at the moment, Gambit have done exactly what they needed to. They've just timed them out. There's only a minute left on the Baron buff now. Looks like they may try and make a concerted effort to push for the mid lane, but Gambit are already responding. They're coming round. Look at just off the side. Diamond looking to try and get one of those flanking kicks. He steps away from the pink ward, but the shield should be enough to keep his turrets safe.
Yeah, but CLG has actually managed to start a push in both side lanes, which is very, very smart, because once the wave hits the tower down here, they can go from the mid lane to the top side with the bamboo, which is
about to run out.
So Gambit Gaming managed to delay them long enough.
I know. I said that a moment ago. It's great.
Did you now?
Calm down. Calm down.
You weren't listening yesterday. You're not even listening when you stood next to me, man.
Security to the caster room.
I was even lying. They didn't even manage to get a push in the top side. It's actually
you just make it up as you go along.
Yeah, I'm just talking.
Well, Christmas is coming. We'll let you off.
Oh, it's been a long year for Deficio. Uh-oh, Link, you've got a counter-strike. You're stunned. Where are you going to go from this one? He's going to take him. Just done nothing. Just dead. Just like literally could do nothing.
That's one of those kills for Jax, which is super nice. You jump in with the counter-strike, and then you just stand there and you start auto-attacking.
Like 3 times is really all you need as well when you're getting those kind of items in there. So Baron buff, as we've both mentioned at this point, I think we've ascertained that that's
Gambit stalled them long enough, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which is really nice. Because Demon said it first. Gambit are now pushing onto the inner turret in that top lane. Looks like CLG will react to this one. Albeit a little bit slow. Yeah, but we saw earlier how fast they can take these towers. Absolutely destroying them. Diamond Procs once again trying to get around. They've managed to get Zion spotted. They're going to kill him off. There's a hook onto Diamond Procs, but there's not the damage to follow through here. Double Lift, you can see on the side, eager to get involved, but when you've not got control of someone, this team will just jump on your face. You can see there Nick trying to move in onto him. Can they take this next turret or do any good chunk? There's a flash hook from Afro, but it didn't work out. Cabershot flashed in with that Counter-Strike up. Link came around. He almost got popped as he came right in there, and he's going to have to go back and heal again.
I'm not really sure what Cabershot was trying to do with his flash, but every time Link tries to go in, he gets so much damage in his face, he pops the passive, and he just has to click Distortion again, go back to where he came from, and can never really assassinate anyone.
Gotta love that diamond kick. It's almost saying to Eddie, I've seen you do it. I can do the same thing. Catches him on that lantern.
10 seconds.
10 seconds on the Dragon. This is a very important Dragon for CLGs. Iron Spartan will be up just in time. He can teleport in. And
they might be able to rush it here.
Yeah, Gambit not in position for this one.
No, again, Gambit, these Dragon timers, not really using them too well here. They're coming up to try and stop them. There is teleport ready for Iron Spartan. We're going to have a fight here. If Gambit gets this Dragon, it's going to be almost impossible for CLG to win.
Well, Cabershot can tank it down quite easily. Aframu's second low already. There's the teleport. Aframu's already dead. Exhaust was used. They dive everything on Cabershot, but Link's going to pay the price. Nick comes around the side. Thinkard taken low. Doublelift at the back, doing what he can. They're just trying to protect him, throwing everything towards Doublelift, who is trying to tank them down. Can he kite them round long enough? He may have enough. He gets down Nick. Edward flashes away. Diamond runs for it. And CLG will secure themselves their first Dragon of the game.
The mechanics for Doublelift here, absolutely insane. He stays alive, he's just dancing around. Pinoy tries to jump and kill him. He ends up actually dying himself. And Doublelift here, everyone chasing him, stays alive. It is not over yet. Now you got the 6% buff for CLG.
And 6%, 40 minutes in, is a lot more damage. And that's what I said earlier, you know, you can say about Doublelift having a bad game one all you want. If he hits the right mark, if he can't get held down, he's gonna rip through you. And we saw him brilliantly play. I hope we get to see a replay of that one, because that was Doublelift carrying CLG through the fight, stopping the 5th Dragon, getting their first of this match. The question now is, what are Gambit gonna do? Because that's the Vayne that you can't really handle.
So first of all, they shouldn't overchase here. They got Link down already, so you only have the Vayne left. At this time, you can step away a little bit, regroup, so the Vayne can just single out these targets here, because you saw, once we get the replay, hopefully, we can just see how they go in one by one to try and kill him. Let's just see it again here. Aframu dies very early on here, but Cabershot takes all the damage in return. Obviously, the Cassidy, chase the bank. Now, it's all about Doublelift. Notice, first, Nick goes in. Pinoy jumps in to try and kill him. Next man joins in. He ends up dying for it. And they keep chasing him instead of staying as a group and, like, step away a little bit here. You have 2 members dead already. You're 5, or you're still 4 members left. You don't have to overchase him.
And once they've killed that man, you know, you never quite know. Are CLG just going to back off and say, don't 5 versus 4? They can have the Dragon at this time, but if we get Ace, we're wiped out anyway.
But of course, it is absolutely fantastic played by Double.
Yeah,
amazing. Dancing around.
The fact that Cabershot went down, obviously, he's kind of the man that needs to deal with Doublelift. But when you see Pinoy, the AD carry, going in, it was an easy twisted advance for Iron Spartan to lock them up, and I didn't see whether Thinkard actually landed the cocoon as well to follow, but he was just basically out the fight as soon as he Valkyried in, which was crazy play for an AD carry, but sometimes, you know, it worked for his Graves, so
it's the playstyle he's using on pretty much every single AD carry we have seen so far. He wants to get in there, try and kill
the thing is,
enemy AD carry, but it's not what you need to do at this point.
In a best of 5, you know, you have that surprise factor in game 1, and actually I talked to Doublelift in the break, and he just said, yeah, I just didn't think he was that good. I got caught out, I was surprised, and, you know, he outplayed me. Won't happen again. Well, clearly not. Now they know that he's diving into those fights, they can actually be prepared and counter it.
Yeah, as long as Iron Spartan is ready to lock him down, then Doublelift can just change his focus and kill him. Link in these fights, because he's basically running without any defensive items, is probably going to be the first target, like we have seen. Nick can just take him down in a very, very short time. And there's still a ward in here now.
This is super dangerous. What happened here is that Nick was topside. They had no ward, so they didn't see him come down and ward out that Baron pit once again. They started off. This time around, Gambit will see it happening, and we will be able to push them back away from it.
Well, they've delayed it for now. You can see Gambit, the moment they made that movement, of course, the minions in the mid-wave gave it away. So CLG back away, don't want to make any risky decisions, get caught out in positions they shouldn't. Iron Spartan with a wise sapling checking out that bush. Giant wave in his top.
We've seen this before.
And the top lane, actually. And this time, Cabershot, he's already got a couple of hits on towards that inhibitor turret. He may be able to chunk it down while the rest of Gambit delay him. But without vision, he's backing away. He's not going for it. There's no vision for Gambit in that bottom half of the jungle.
Yeah, every single ward has been put down around this Baron pit here. They have the pink as well. They know there's no ward from CLG. They're actually starting it but they're gonna know by now. It's they already used the scrying up from double lift as well.
10,000 HP remaining.
Oh, he's
going to be
behind
watered
them.
down. They're going to try and get
members.
it from this one. They may catch out ThinkCard here. He will come down on top of them once again, and surely will be finished off. It's Diamond that gets that one. Where is Double Lift though? At the front this time around. Gambit get the 1 kill back away, but they pull in Cabashard as well. Twisted advance from Zion Spartan comes in, and Double Lift still on the flank.
They can't touch him.
Absolutely hammering away at them. They're going to take out Nick here. Can they get any more with them? The phosphorus bomb comes through. He said 2 for 1. CLG turn, and surely we'll get Baron.
So this time here, Gambit engage in, they get the first kill, they actually back away, they stayed together as a group, but then the hook come in from Aframo onto Cabashard here, and the fight is on again. Zion Spartan joins in, and nobody can touch Double Lift in the back at the moment.
They have to deal with that wave in the top lane, surely, and say Zion Spartan's going to go back. They can't risk a Baron. There is a gigantic stack up there that you can see Link's going to go and try and deal with. That will get a big wedge onto a tower if they were left alone, but they use that bush very well, and just I think as the lack of wards being brought into the fight, that suddenly Double was like, well, I'm getting some free hits in here. And again, 24-21 now, 45 kills in 46 minutes. Definitely delivering the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne final so far. Gambit still leading, but CLG, look at this, they're taking another peek at the Baron.
Pink ward would be nice for in those fights as well, because I think both times Double Lift has managed to stealth up and tumble away from the danger.
Yeah, but they have the upgraded sweepers here on both the two members.
True.
Actually diving in towards him. Starting the Baron though once again. Pinoy is still running from base, same with Edward.
But they're on a ward this time around. Diamond Box actually starting with Zion Spartan. Cabashard coming around the side. This time around, not going to go deep. And actually, CLG are actually low on hit points here. A Link just around the side. They're going to catch him with the counter strike, but Cabashard completely separated. Double Lift will come in for that one. Link gets himself the kill and is now a 4-on-5 as CLG go back to Baron.
This is surely gone. They've got to have a hero here, and I think it's only going to be Nick that can do it. Goes in there, gets down Link. Can he get any more? They've managed to lock him up. He'll use the Zonyas. He's actually out of range of the Monsoon there, I think, and that didn't do anything for Gambit. They're going to try and back off. Double Lift going to dive in. Look at the damage. Here comes Pinoy. Can he be the hero that Gambit need? He gets locked up with the cocoon. Double Lift will join back in from the backside, and there he is, unstoppable at 10-3-6. The rest of Gambit recall. This is Baron for CLG.
What was Pinoy doing in the back there? Everyone else was running away from Double Lift, and Pinoy suddenly appears in the back against 3 members here, completely out of position. Baron for CLG. These late game team fights are absolutely insane.
Ooh.
This dragon here is going to be important. But Zion Spartan coming in.
Zion Spartan coming in, but he's going to be on his own. This is risky. He's going to go to Eddie. He's got a lot of damage, don't forget. If you can delay them long enough. Double Lift and Koa coming back in. Diamond is close by. If they can just get the smite steal, it's going to be worth it. But this is so
Got the
scary.
dragon. Can they get out?
It. But now, look at Double Lift coming round. He's going to find Nick. It's Eddie he wants, maybe easy target. Nick gets punted away. They're going to keep on chasing. Double Lift comes around. Nick running for his life here. Another tumble from Double Lift should get the chase on. Aframu coming around the side. There's the pin. The Condemned gets the kill. And Double Lift is on cleanup duty now.
Look at the minions as well. Every single one being buffed by the Baron here. They're pushing in. The only 2 members. Everyone else was chasing.
70-second spawn time for Nick as well. If they lose one more man here, they could end up losing the game. This tower is going down. There's nothing that Gambit can do about this one. There is Cabashard diving in. He's gone for Afrumo though. Is that going to be costing him his life? Double Lift continues on the backside. Cabashard will dive in. Can they finish him off? Double Lift going out, but he doesn't get diamond procs. They use everything that they've got there to go for Double Lift. They may get Afromu as well. ThinkCard finally coming around, and there is the back away from CLG. In the end, they got the inhibitor turret there in that bottom lane. This game is absolutely insane.
Action, action, and more action right here.
That top tower might go down to minions here. There we go.
As well.
Another one picked up. So CLG equal in turrets. 6-6 turrets apiece. 26-24. 50 kills in 50 minutes. Absolutely amazing stuff. You know, there's a reason that Protect the Double Lift is a team comp. You know, obviously you can criticize the guy, but at the end of the day, 11-4-6 on Vayne. This is his bread and butter, and CLG know exactly how to play this game.
Yeah, let him get to that late game here. He even sold his static shift and just picked up the Phantom Dancer. So he's ready for these fights. He's up in 20 seconds. CLG just have to hold on for now. which they will. We might just have one last 5 versus 5 team fight here.
I think you might be wrong
Maybe
on
a
that.
few
Maybe
more.
1, 2, 3, who knows in this one. Of course, 5 dragon buffs for Gambit. Let's not forget that, because before that crazy fight kicked off, that was taken away. But what can they do with it? What is the plan? Obviously, Baron buff to run out won't take long at this stage, so once that is gone, are we going to be back onto a level playing field? Double Lift has said no, it's not level anymore in the last 2 fights.
We have to highlight as well Zion Spartan on this Maokai here. He's just stacked with armor. And a Corki, you can't take down a big tank in the late game here, so there's actually nobody to kill him. That's why he's also staying alive and constantly peeling for Double Lift in these fights here, making it even harder to actually kill him.
Whew, I'm intrigued to see where this game is going to go next. Just 2,000 gold between the two teams as we approach the 80,000 mark. Nobody wants to get caught out from either team. Afremu actually pretty low on hit points, but we saw earlier on when Eddie got focused, everybody throwing their damage at the support, and Eddie was happy to take it, obviously to buy time for this man on your screen, Double Lift, and indeed Link as well, who's been drawing a lot of the aggro. You can see there's 8 deaths. That's because they have to focus him first before they go for Double Lift. As CLG, they're pushing the bottom, but they're leaving the top exposed. Cabochard might try to backdoor while they can hold them.
Yes, tell what ready here, so might just try and trade what he can do out there for the inhibitor. Zion Spartan going back. No teleport for him, but this Jax pick, while we have seen Cabochard a few times run around on the side lanes, we haven't really seen much split pushing from him. We haven't seen him kill anyone one-on-one and like open up the base through split pushing. So he's been stuck in these team fights where it is very easy to kite a Jax around. He jumps in, Vayne condemns him, and he suddenly has no way of actually getting to the back line. It is one of the reasons Gambit cannot kill Double Lift. And we just haven't seen the Jax really been used for what he excels at.
They're actually trying to chase down. They saw Double Lift. They know he's there. They're trying to focus and catch him, but CLG quick to get out of there. And again, I think it's going to be a case of a Dragon or a Baron that's going to draw their attention. Baron buff, of course, already off. That will be respawning soon, but Dragon is the next thing to come. That will be in 2 minutes' time. CLG hoping, laying in wait, but they need to be quick to react here because the rest of Gambit are moving up towards the Baron. This could be a backdoor. They could go for the inhib.
Got to recall instantly here. You don't want to lose, because you're going to lose this race. They're actually going for it. Oh, this is risky.
This is super risky. Let's take stock of what's up here. Bottom lane, CLG pushing. Inhib turrets down, only an Inhib. Gambit are fast here. Gambit are really fast with this Jax. We see a recall from Maokai. CLG are going for it on the bottom side, but they're already on the Nexus turret. Who's faster? Surely it's Gambit. They've already got one down. They've got the second one down. Gambit coming through the back door to win game 2 here in the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne final. What the hell was that? Insane!
You cannot base race a Janna, Jax, and Corki. They will just rip them turrets apart. Yes, Double Lift was fed, but he's just one guy. You can't counter that much. And the speed, they were close. Don't get me wrong, they were close. They took the second Nexus turret down as well, so they were onto the Nexus just about. But damn, what a game, ladies and gentlemen. What a game. 26-24, 50 kills, 53 minutes. Just about everything you wanted from a game there. And boy, do we have a clean sweep here for Gambit, or is it possible CLG are going to come back? I'm glad we got St. Vicious on the desk, because he's been through this already in the
I'm going to have a
expansion
heart
tournament.
attack if it carries on this way. I don't know.